What up, my madness society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Note. Back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Because it does help out my channel get into the algorithm. You know what I mean? You would be helping the channel out a lot by just subscribing and liking, and it's free. Now, what I wanted to talk about was inflation and the economy, the situation of the economy and where we're at and stuff like that. You know, politics and stuff. Now, even though it looks like, you know, I'm just a dumb individual from the streets, like most individuals think that us gang members are, but we're not. But we'll let them believe what they want. I actually do educate myself, and you know, I like educating myself, and that's mostly what I spend my time doing when I'm not in the streets. But education is very important. You know what I mean? It's always important to educate yourself. That's the only way to succeed, you know, in life, is by feeding yourself knowledge. And that's the beauty about learning, is that us as humanity, we're always gonna keep learning. You know what I mean? We never fully reach our full capacity of knowledge. You know what I mean? There's always a bunch of new stuff that you can learn and stuff. You know, and that's the beauty about life, that we learn as we go. You know, that's what it is to live. So never think that you have reached your pinnacle, you know, when it comes to knowledge. You know, there's always, you know, a step further. Now, when it comes to the economy, right, and inflation, everybody knows what inflation is. It's when the price of everything starts to go up the roofs. Now, a while back ago, when the stimulus checks were coming, the stimulus, oh yes, the stimmies. Y'all remember the stimulus checks, homie? That's when you seen everybody balling, throwing the money and everything like that. Yeah, off that stimmy. Yeah, they know the stimmy. I knew that shit was a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. See, that's the problem with the Democrats. And no, I am not Republican, nor am I conservative, nor am I liberal, none of that shit. I don't believe in politics. I believe that it's all bullshit in general, because these people are not in it for, you know, is citizens. They're in it for themselves. That's the downfall of humanity, is that you give them a little bit of power and it goes straight to their heads. Not only that, but humanity always tends to just look after their self-benefit, whatever could self-benefit them. You know what I mean? As long as I have food on my plate, I don't give a damn if anybody else does. That is, you know, the mindset of most individuals, especially when you give them, you know, power. It tends to corrupt. Where is the proof? Thousands of years of history, my boy. Time after time after time after time again. It never seems to fail. But now, when the stimulus checks were coming out, the stimmies, I knew that was a bad idea, because let me tell you something about the rich. This is no lie. The rich ain't giving you nothing for free, my boy. You know, the government, the rich, you know, because they got to get the money from somewhere, my boy. This money has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? And yes, it does come from our taxes and stuff like that, but I'm saying that these companies, it takes a big chunk, and they're not going to give nothing away for free. Them fools, my boy, if there's something that you should know, is that this government is not going to give you nothing for free. These companies ain't going to give you a damn thing. My boy, we have to be taking them to court to give us health insurance, you know, when we work in their facilities. You gotta beg them to give you health insurance, my boy. You gotta practically hold a gun to their head to just give you health insurance. And you think that they're gonna give you money for free? You do not know the rich, my boy. They ain't giving you a damn thing for free, bro. They'll fight you to the death for 1 penny, homie, because it's their penny. And I ain't even making that up, bro. I'm being dead serious. Them fools ain't giving you nothing for free. Somebody was gonna have to pay for this. I already knew that. You know, I was telling my wife, and you know, the homies were chopping up like, yeah, somebody's gonna have to pay for this, my boy. These fools ain't giving us nothing for free. Ah, you're paranoid. Nah, you don't know that. What are you, psychic? Here we are now. Look at the price of groceries, just groceries, gas. My boy, come on now. Oh, somebody was gonna have to pay for this, homie. There's no way in hell these fools were gonna give anything away for free. Remember, we're talking about thousands of people that they gave a stimulus check to. You know how much money that is, my boy? You think that these guys were really gonna be giving that amount of money away for free, huh? See, that's the problem with the Democrats. The Democrats never help the problem. They never fix the problem. What they want to do is keep giving stuff away for free. You give the homeless homes. You give these people money. That is not fixing the problem. That is not getting them on their feet. That is not showing them the way. What happens to a kid when you just buy them everything? What happens is that kid becomes spoiled. He no longer wants to do anything to get that thing. He thinks that he's just entitled to it now. He demands it. He feels like he's entitled to it. And they'll throw tantrums and they won't budge. When you spoil them rotten, that's what happens. That's what the Democrats, tend to do all the damn time. The Democrats is that naive mom that her son can't do nothing wrong, even though he's a bank robber and a drug addict and stuff like that, but she sees him like a saint and he can't do no wrong. You know what I mean? And don't even get me started on the Republicans who's just the evil stepdad who doesn't even give a fuck about the child either and rather see him rot too. Both sides don't help. One side wants to give you everything, the other side wants to give you nothing. When in the fact, to fix the problems, you got to meet in the middle. You know what I mean? But neither of them, because our politics became gangs now. You know what I mean? It's either you down with the Republicans or you the enemy, or you down with the Democrats or you the enemy, and neither side can see each other's values or opinions or none of that, bro. It's either our side or no side. So then no bills get passed, and then there's all kinds of bullshit when there is bills, because everybody is down for their side. You know what I mean? They're repping for theirs, and now it just became a tug of war. You know what I mean? Neither side is right. You know what I mean? Both sides are acting immature. Both sides are full of shit. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Keep voting a Republican president, keep voting a Democrat president, no problems are going to keep getting fixed, because these individuals are still in a battle for control. You know what happens when two organizations are battling for control of a turf? You know what happens, right? When two different sides are fighting for one piece of turf. Yeah, you're going to get a whole lot of chaos. And who pays the price? The people that live in the turf, don't they? Yeah, us. That's what happens. That's what's been happening. That's why we're the ones that are going to get fucked. If the economy goes to shit, put it like this. If the economy goes to shit, if it completely goes to crap, you see those people in office, right? The Democrats and Republicans, you see them there, you know what I mean? My boy, they don't have nothing to worry about. If the shit goes to shit, they don't have nothing to worry about. Food is still going to come for them. They're still going to have water, electricity, filet mignon, Netflix and chill. They still going to have all that, my boy. Oh, they don't got a damn thing to worry about. You know what I mean? All them vatos, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Ricky Rubio, Ted Cruz, Mitch McConnell. None of them vatos have, Lindsey Graham. None of them have nothing to worry about, bro. You think them motherfuckers have something to worry about, bro? They got nothing to worry about, homie. They gonna be fine. Biden gonna be fine. Trump gonna be fine. Kamala Harris gonna be fine. Mike Pence gonna be fine. They all gonna be fine. We're the ones that are gonna be fucked. We're the ones gonna be struggling. And you know what the sadder part about it is that money doesn't even hold no actual value. And government has actual no power. Money has as much power as much value as humanity gives it. Government has as much power as humanity gives it. Because if you really think about it, if they tell their civilians to stand down and we all say no, now they look at the military and say, hey, handle that. And the military says no. What are these old ass fools in suits gonna do? What can they do? Not a damn thing, bro. So what power do they have? They have no power. They only have as much power as we give them. Because the military still has family down here, you know what I mean? They have mothers, brothers, sisters, daughters, cousins, all of that. Like, no, I'm not gonna enforce this shit on them. You're crazy. So if they say no, and we say no, then what power do they have? They have no power. What are they gonna do? What is Nancy Pelosi and Biden and Trump and them gonna do? Not a damn thing. And they know that. That's why they're scared. That's why they always apply these fear tactics, and fear and propaganda is the greatest tools of government, bro. They've been using them for years and it works so successfully. Oh yes, we must establish this and that, and you know, obviously to create, you know, a totalitarian system, you know, where we just enslaves ourselves willingly, you know what I mean, because we feel it's for the greater good of humanity. We don't know what's best for us, and we don't know how to take care of us, and we don't know how to save ourselves. They are the salvation. They are the answer. They can promise you safety and everything gonna be all right, and wealth and all of that. And if you don't follow what they say, the world will go to shit and there'll be chaos and we'll be doomed. The narcissistic personality of these individuals, they are the answer. They are God. You know what I mean? That is the problem when people give them all this power and don't actually vote for bills. Look, you have to go vote for your mayors, your governors, you know, and vote for these actual laws and bills that affect where you live at. You know what I mean? That is where you start. You know, but nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to go out and vote and actually educate themselves on this shit. But then they want to be complaining and bitching about it after. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you didn't do nothing when you had the opportunity to, because you were too lazy, or because it was boring. You'd rather watch the Kardashians and then wonder why the world is in shits. But see, they apply all these distractions. That way they dumb down their citizens. That way what we consider important is not important. What's actually important is important. You know what I mean? Like, people rather sit down and watch their Netflix or their Kardashians than actually educate themselves on what's actually going on in the world. That's why they keep distracting you. When shit starts to get hot and a lot of people are actually focusing on something, they'll release a video of aliens have now landed, or there's a nuclear crisis in Russia. Oh, so now you're focusing all the attention on that and away from what's actually going on in the world, you know. And then, you know, once you know, people's, you know, the distraction goes away, and then we start focusing back again, like, well, oh man, why am I paying so much money for a Lunchable and shit like that? It's like, you know, nuclear tower, North Korea is threatening, and here we go again. You know, because let me tell you something, the news ain't really gonna tell you what's going on. Meaning CNN, NBC, Fox News, all of them are full of shit, bro. They are not telling you what's going on and everything. They are telling you what they want to tell you, their agenda, their points of views. You know what I mean? Don't think that they're actually giving their honest opinions, bro. They are giving you the opinion of the person who owns that news station, my boy. Because if he sees it differently, he ain't gonna let you talk about, you know, your views on his shit, homie. You can only talk about what he wants you to talk about, bro. And that's the only information you're gonna get. And that's on both sides. And both sides, it's beneficial to keep shit hidden from its people, because it self-benefits them. You get what I'm saying? Because the economy, you know, the money wasn't have to come from somewhere. That's why everything is skyrocketing. And this problem's not going to go away. Don't think that it's like the gas prices that you'll just see them drop down again and stuff like that. No, homie, it's going to keep going up. And they're charging all these farmers, right, to now to feed their cattle. You know, it takes now 3 times the amount than what it did before. Then they now have to charge you 3 times the amount more to make a profit. If not, they're not making no money. They're losing money. And why would they do that? But see, these big corporations don't see it that way, because they still want their income to be the same size. You know, like when the pandemic first hit and all these supermarkets were getting cleaned out and everything, they liked the number they were seeing. Now they want that number back. They want to sustain that number. That became the new goal to hit. How are they gonna hit that fucking number? We're in a crisis. They don't care. They just like, let's see where we could push these individuals. Because 9 times out of 10, what tends to happen is people pay all this amount of money for groceries and shit like that, and they just, well, what can we do? What you mean what you can do? Go fucking march and tell them to change some of these laws and start voting on some of these bills. What you mean what can you do? You have rights in this country. Use them. You have freedom of speech. Use it. You have the right not to stay quiet. Use it. You can do a lot of stuff by making noise. Don't say what can we do and just go with the flow. That is the Raza's number one downfall. Fight for what's rightfully yours. I'm just saying. But that's my opinion. Shout out, we out.